Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Crystal, and this is Crystal's Literary Lounge. So today I wanted to discuss my 10 favorite book series. So number 10 is Sherilyn Kenyon or Sherilyn McQueen. It's the Dark Hunter series. So Greek gods and goddesses, they interfere with the lives of mortals, and they also war with each other. And these immortal hunters were created to eradicate vampiric-like creatures that are called daemons. And the series includes shapeshifters and many more creatures. So Sherilyn is an amazing world builder, and her stories are very multifaceted. Sherilyn really understands psychology and that everyone is multifaceted. The hero can be the villain and vice versa. I was actually able to meet Sherilyn, and she was like one of the nicest people that I've ever met, and was so grateful to her fans. Number 9 is Julia Quinn's Bridgerton series. So I read this series many years ago when it was first published. I had read all of my favorite authors' books, and I was still waiting for new releases, and there was just kind of this lull period, and I worked at a bookstore, and so I, of course, love to speak to customers and the other employees, and was always looking for something to read. And so a coworker of mine suggested that I try this series, and it was completely different than what I normally read, but I enjoyed it, and I can tell you that the books are better than the series. There are 8 Bridgerton siblings, and each book follows one of the siblings finding their one true love. And the reader is introduced to, it's called the Ton, which is high society aristocrats. And this series is character and relationship based. So each character has flaws, and their events of their past shape them, and it affects their relationship that they have with others. And the couples have real conflicts, real resolutions. While Netflix deviates from the source material, the actual core that makes this book series so loved by everyone, Netflix did capture that. So I do like the series, but on Netflix, but the book's way better. So number 8 and number 7 both belong to Laurell K. Hamilton. So number 8 is the Mary Gentry series, and number 7 is the Anita Blake series. So Mary Gentry is a fairy princess on the run from her aunt and the other nobles of the Dark Court, which is the Unseelie Court. The nobles want her dead because she's immortal. So she is the first fairy princess born in America, but she's not immortal, she's mortal, and that is horrible to them. So her queen is the queen of the Unseelie, and her uncle is actually the king of the Seelie Court, which is considered the light court. So she's in line for both thrones. The series follows Mary as she is discovered and called back to the Unseelie Court. And her aunt actually makes her a co-heir to the throne. But of course, there's stipulations to that. And in the Anita Blake series follows Anita Blake, who is a vampire hunter. And she actually goes from a hired executioner of supernatural creatures to being like part of an FBI branch. And she is like the most powerful necromancer ever. I love Hamilton's writing. Each of her series is character driven, and each character is so unique, and they have special traits where they're both good and bad. And in the world of the fairies, it's brought to life in such a believable way. It's like Game of Thrones meets True Blood. And with the Anita Blake series, Hamilton's characters, even though they're supernatural and they have supernatural issues, what makes it so great is that, every character is struggling with real world problems. So they have relationship issues, the justice system problems, women's rights issues, LGBTQ plus issues, relationship issues, not just monogamous, but polyamorous. In this world that Hamilton has created, it feels very real because the characters seem very real. And this 2023 marks 30 years of 30 novels for Anita Blake. And I'm super excited because the 30th book come out in November, and I can't wait to read this series and to see what the future holds. Number 6 is Gina Showalter's Lords of the Underworld. Greek gods and titans are real, and Pandora's box is real in this series. Pandora was in charge of keeping the box safe and making sure that demons didn't escape. But of course, a group of warriors were upset. They wanted to do basically a coup occurs, and the demons get released. So the male warriors are punished by having a demon merged with them, and then they become the keeper / jailer of that demon. And each story is about one of the warriors finding love and redemption. Showalter creates very unique characters. They're loud, they're brash, they're fun, but they're also vulnerable and flawed. And she drops the reader into a world that's just multidimensional, just full of fun. Number 5 is Kresley Cole's Arcana Chronicles. So Cole is a master storyteller, and this series follows a teen girl who discovers that tarot cards are real and that she herself is the Empress card. And this series follows the main character Evie as she navigates an apocalypse, love, and discovers that she has powers and who she is meant to be. This is kind of like Vampire Diaries / original / legacies mixed with like Highlander. There can be only one survivor. Number 4 is Christine Feehan's Dark series. So this series is about a species of Carpathians. The men are born with only half of their souls, and so as they age, they lose color and emotions, and they search for their mate who has the other half of their soul, and their mate will restore color and emotions. If they don't find their mate, then they are at risk of becoming the evil vampire. The series also includes shapeshifters and mages. Christine's writing is unique, and she immerses the reader into a world where characters, they start off like with loneliness and hopelessness, but they still have a strong sense of duty and honor. And she really emphasizes like sacrifice and that true love can conquer all. And she offers hope and light in the darkness. Number 3 is Karen Marie Monen's Fever series. I love this series. Michaela Lane is out for revenge for the death of her sister, so she travels to Dublin, Ireland in search of a killer and discovers that her entire life has been a lie. She encounters a bookstore owner that's basically just sin incarnate and has secrets of his own, and together they search for this mysterious book that has incredible powers, and the entire time they're battling fae creatures. So Monen's take on the fae is unique, and her writing is phenomenal. Nothing is as it seems, and she weaves stories unlike any other. This series, it made me laugh, it made me cry, it made me angry, and it's not really a series where it's like based in romance. I mean, there are some romance in there, but it's basically choices and actions and consequences. And it demonstrates that every person has the ability to be good or evil, and that nothing's black or white. It's just shades of gray. And it's best to look at the actions of the people around you, because that's the most telling. Number 2 is Janet Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum series. So this series follows Stephanie Plum. She's a bounty hunter, and she's absolutely terrible at her job, and yet she always gets her guy or girl at the her love life consists of her trying to choose between two men that are pretty much opposites, and Stephanie is always getting into trouble, and her cars are always getting totaled. So when I need a read that's just easy and fun, I grab this series. I always laugh, and in fact I have laughed out loud and woke up kids multiple times. I just love the characters in this series. And number 1 is Kresley Cole's Immortal After Dark. So this series has all supernatural creatures, including Valkyries, werewolves, vampires, phantoms. So Kresley, she's just a master at storytelling, and she takes multiple storylines that are occurring simultaneously and intersecting, and she brings them all together in these moments of just jaw-dropping reveals. This series, it truly highlights how great of a writer Cole is. The characters, the world, the situations, they all feel real and tangible. Again, I laughed, I cried, I was happy, I was sad, and that all happened like while I was reading, like in one book. So these are some of my favorite series that I love to read. There are some others, but these are, like I said, my top 10. Let me know in the comments some of your favorite series, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.